Hey y'all, it's your girl, Hope Your TV Movie Bestie, and I watch good shit, and I just got done watching this week's episode of The Vampire Lestat. The tour bus is getting pulled over by the cops, and all the bandmates, they quickly getting rid of their drugs, trying to flush it down in the toilet. The cop gets on the bus, he got a dog with him, and the dog going crazy. The cop is like, what's that? Because they got piles of powder. Lestat says, oh, this is makeup. It's just makeup powder. We in a band. And he's like, yeah, the dog don't bark over makeup. Lestat puts him in this little trance, and so he sends him on his way. Louis, he continues to go to the diner and see Claudia. They start talking, and Louis tells her that she's just helping him by being herself, that he's going through a really bad time right now, and so she's helping. And she's like, oh, okay. So I remind you of somebody. Who? And he pulls out the interview with the vampire book, and he says, have you heard of this? And she said, oh, yeah. This is a horror story. And he's like, well, it's true. He wants to say more, but then he's like, I'm sorry, let me get out of here. So he leaves. Daniel, he wants to talk about Gabriella with Lestat, because when Lestat's not performing, him and Daniel are on a tour bus and they're just talking. And he wants to know more about Gabriella. Lestat starts reminiscing. She was really fun once she became a vampire. We had a lot of good times, but she never wanted to hunt. While they're talking, the former bandmate who was in the addicts meeting at the end of the previous episode, he comes back. And I said, oh, I don't think this is going to be good. Because everybody was like, oh, yeah, we glad to see you. I said, I don't know. Armand got something to do with him, so that's never good. Speaking of Armand, he's also back. He shows up while Daniel is bowling. Armand is Daniel's maker. So Armand, he's like, hey, I've been doing some work. I've been doing some inner healing. I got this letter. I would like for you to listen to it while I read it to you. And Daniel said, whoa. Are you doing the steps? Are you in recovery? Let me save you the trouble. I do not care what you have to say. I don't want to hear any of it. He walks off. Armand shows up on Lestat's tour bus. He got a letter for him too. Lestat's like, okay, go ahead and read your little letter. Take a shower. So he starts taking a shower. Vampires bathe in blood. He bathing in blood. Armand reading his little letter. He gets finished, and Lestat's like, yeah, cool. Not interested or impressed. But you know what? I do got a show tomorrow. You should come to my show. At the diner, Regina, who is the Claudia lookalike, she's getting scolded by her boss. Louis is like, hey, are you okay? I've been here for a couple hours. I've been looking for you. You done missed a couple shifts. And she's like, yeah, I read that book and I get it. I look like Claudia, your daughter. I think you're crazy. He's like, look, I'm not crazy. I just want to help you. I looked you up. I see that you're kind of struggling. I see you got a police record. You got an OnlyFans. You don't really have a lot of money. I can help you. I can give you a fresh start. And she's like, I don't want to be your dead daughter. I'm cool. I got enough shit in my life. I don't need any more. I don't want to be dressing up like her. So Armand, he comes to Louis' show. Louis performs this song that he wrote for him. Armand tells Daniel afterwards that he's in danger by being around Lestat. There's not a lot of vampires left in the world right now. There's been more deaths than there have been births. Lestat is going to get all of us killed. Daniel's like, what? So this is also after the show, and there happens to be a shooter. So Lestat is, signing autographs, saying hey to his fans. A shooter comes and just starts trying to kill Lestat, the band members, everybody. Lestat gets shot, but, of course he doesn't die because it's a vampire. Louis continues to watch Regina. And at first he's like, I'm going to leave her alone, but I just want to make sure she's okay. So I'm just going to watch her. I'm not going to go in the diner. I'm going to just kind of watch her from afar. So he does that for a while, and it ain't working. He got to go in. So he go in. He's unable to stop himself. She like, oh, couldn't stay away, could you? And he's like, yeah, I tried. So she says, I should apologize. I didn't mean to get loud with you the other day. And he's like, no, I shouldn't have unloaded all that on you. And she's like, yeah, it was a lot. Let's make a deal. For $500,000, I will pretend to be your daughter. Okay, so she flipped. She did Claudia's voice. And she's like, what's next, Daddy Lou? And I said, I don't think this is going to end well. Girl, You don't know about that whole Claudia, Lestat, Louis triangle. That was wild. You do not want to be caught up with this. Lestat, he laments through song. He's singing about Sophia and she shows up. It's really kind of sad because while they have a very odd relationship and a complicated relationship, he still needs her to be his mom. He's like, where have you been? You left me. You've been gone for 9 days. And she's like, chill out. It's only been a week. He's like, no, it's been way longer than that. And she said, I was with the voices. And he said, what? And she said, here, listen. So she lets him in and he hears what she is hearing. And it's fans. And she says, these are your fans who need your help. Because he tells her that basically the tour over now. And she's like, why? And he said, there was a shooting. People tend to not want to come back when there's a shooting. She's like, yeah, but your fans, they need you. They need help. That's what these voices are. And she somehow convinces him to turn around because he's like, I'm headed back to Canada. I'm done. He turns the bus around and that's how the episode ends. I thought this episode was still kind of good, kind of liking it at this point. I'm willing to watch each episode. I am interested. There are pieces of the story that I'm enjoying, but I just think I don't love it as much as the first 2 seasons. I like it enough to continue to watch it. I'll say that much. Y'all let me know what you think of this week's episode and the show in general in the comments below. I'm your TV movie bestie. I'm on all the socials. Like, subscribe, and follow, and I will see y'all on the next show on the next episode. Bye, besties.